Hi, this is David.Rosen, and today we're going to talk about maternity on If I Was the Mayor. So I recently read a riveting book called What to Expect When You're Expecting, and it's about pregnancy. It made me think, here in New York City, why is it that women are forced to give birth in the same buildings where you take someone who's been shot? Why is it that births happen in the same place we treat trauma victims who've had construction accidents or who are getting open heart surgery? Just because there's bodies and blood involved, why do these things have to happen under the same roof? And so if I was mayor, my biggest construction project might be the construction of 5 specialty birthing centers on each of the 5 boroughs. Birthing centers, cutting edge and revolutionary, that were the envy of the entire world, that everyone wanted to come have birth in. If you are pregnant here in New York, you're either rich or you're not rich. The rich get really ripped off, I've noticed. They pay a lot of money for a lot of services, most of which aren't covered by insurance, some of which are, much of which is probably not necessary. They often give birth in hospitals on the east side, unless they live there, far from their home, and a lot of times they rent furnished rentals right before they give birth to be close but to the hospital for the big day. If you're not rich, you often give birth in a weird hospital, and it's an interesting and odd experience, and you might be sent all over town to get routine sonograms, which are part of obviously being pregnant. Having known people going through this, I can tell you that what we're doing now is not good. We can do so much better. And if I was mayor, we would really promote midwives. Do you know that when a woman gives birth with a midwife, she's much less likely to have a cesarean section? That's when they have surgery. And do you know that nationwide, 32%, according to What to Expect When You're Expecting, of pregnancies in America are C-sections? I'm sure many of them are needed, but the supposition is many of them are not needed, and that it's OBGYNs who are much more likely to prescribe a cesarean section. And the reason is that they're trying to hurry up the process, oftentimes because they're in overcrowded hospitals, and not necessarily because it's what's in the best interest of the mom or the child. And if we had the right type of facility, it could be a facility where people could stay for a little while, they could feel comfortable to make themselves at home in, and the rate of cesareans would go down dramatically. Infant mortality would go down dramatically. The culture of wellness for women and children, and by extension, all of us, would be promoted. I think an underserved part of our city's economy is our services towards pregnant women. And if I was mayor, I would focus on building birthing centers on every borough. We need to take a hard look at what we're doing with family culture here in New York City. And it starts with a birthing center that would service all New Yorkers and be the envy of all Americans. Thanks. I'm David.Rosen, and this has been another episode of If I Was the Mayor.